Welcome, and welcome back to another episode of.
Race Rats podcast.
You've done it again to me. Right before we've been filming, she's had so much chaotic energy that she's driven me insane, and now she's stroking the bug.
I'm trying to channel the chaotic energy into
Let it loose.
calm,
Rage, where is your anger?
calm, camera appropriate energy.
Anyway, I'm going to start today's episode off by saying that Sabrina Carpenter's song Bedchem is written about Max Verstappen, and no one can tell me otherwise. Thank you. Anyway,
Does he even have blue eyes?
yes,
He does?
yes.
When does he wear a white jacket?
He has many times. Yep.
Oh, he's worn one before,
Yep.
so that
Yeah.
makes it about him.
Thick accent,
Yeah, that's true.
blue eyes. There's something else that she says, and it's all about Max Verstappen. Anyway, we're here to talk about Sabrina Carpenter's Bedchem being about Max Verstappen, and also here to talk about the Italian Grand Prix in Monza. FORZA FERRARI.
Why did I forget it was the Italian Grand Prix we were talking about?
What we were literally just listening to the Italian anthem like before
I
we
thought
filmed
that was
this.
just for fun.
It's for funsies. I do like listening to the Italian anthem for fun. It's a bop. It's a certified banger.
Not
10
as
out
good
of 10.
as
Put it on my Spotify Wrapped.
not as good as the Chinese national anthem though. That one is dramatic.
I don't know. I don't know. The Italian anthem and the Monaco anthem.
They're all better
They
than
put something.
the Australian, that's for sure.
That's correct.
Australian anthem is weak as.
Australian government, if you're listening, we didn't say that. Anyway, let's jump into it because there's a bit to talk about today. First of all, starting with FP1, we had Kimi Antonelli filling in to do some testing, showing some good times, and then crashing 10 minutes into the session.
Uh-oh. Bit of an oopsie.
It's not good. He crashed around Parabolica, which is kind of known for being a bit of slip and slide there. It wasn't a funny crash, but it was because
funny crash? What do you mean by that?
Because where he crashed into the barriers had advertising on it for ant. And it had like a little arrow pointing to the car, so it just said ant. It was promoting who had crashed. Thank you. Honestly, I'm gonna be real with you right now. All the practice sessions kind of boring this weekend. They didn't have much making. Anyway, it did have Verstappen, Leclerc, and Norris topping the leaderboard for FP1. And we had Hamilton, Norris, and Sainz topping in FP2. What are you gonna say? I can see your face. Anyway, FP3 had Hamilton, Russell, and Leclerc in the top three. So all three practice sessions had a Ferrari in the top three. So I'm sure the Italians were saying "Mamma mia" with that. That's not offensive because that's exactly what. Well,
Mamma mia. Something. Yeah.
Yep. Beautiful. Thank you for
Thank you.
So heading into qualifying, I'll be honest, the race was the most eventful part of this weekend. And the fact that Italians are absolutely
Sorry.
Jesus.
I've just got a bit of too much.
Italians are absolutely wild when it comes to Ferrari. But the first five out of qualifying were Guan Yu, Valtteri Bottas. Unfortunately, in his first qualifying in the team, Franco Colapinto, who, by the way, did do well though. He did do well that entire weekend. Lance Stroll and Yuki Tsunoda.
Yuki Tsunoda.
Yuki Tsunoda. Thank you, Carlos Sainz.
We do. Oh, excuse me. We didn't. Oh.
This is my shit tonight, dude. I can't. We are so delirious.
We do know how to say his name correctly. Is what I was trying to.
It's if you've ever seen the video, if you've ever seen it, only came out recently of Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz, little handmade Pokemon cards. And Carlos Sainz had one that said Yuki Tsunoda, and its special power was 10,000 punches per second going da 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 da.
Sounds about right.
It's pretty good. I did pretty well with that.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to qualifying. This is my leg, by the way, if anyone's wondering what I'm holding. I'm sitting like a frog today. Leave it at that. Next 5 out were Esteban Ocon, Pierre Gasly, Kevin Magnussen, Daniel Ricciardo, and Fernando Alonso. For a shocking Q3 entrance, we had Nico Hulkenberg in 10th. Hulkenberg, Alexander Albon, Sergio Perez. Down in 7th, Max Verstappen.
Ooh.
Not a great one for the Red Bulls this weekend. But in saying that, before I go on, it was noted that this is one of Max's worst qualifyings. And he still out-qualified his teammate.
Oh.
Anyway, in 6th, Lewis Hamilton. In 5th, in that godforsaken love of the number 5, again.
That's kind of wild, actually.
Ooh, trust me, it's killing me. In 4th, Charles Leclerc, which was shocking considering the Ferraris were in the top 3 all weekend. In 3rd, George Russell, and completing the front row, Oscar Piastri in 2nd, and for his 5th pole of his career, Lando Norris. Snaps to Lando.
And to Oscar.
But Lando has come into something this year. He is on another planet.
Not desperation, just
not desperation.
Determination.
It's a new aura, and I am here for it. Now into the race. Here comes Liam Lawson. Into the race. Lovely Sunday. I hate you.
We are filming this at 2:15.
After work.
After work, yes. We were both quite sleepy and delirious. So sorry.
Yeah. Anyway,
continue on.
Thank you for giving me permission to continue.
You're so
on to the race. There's so much I want to say, and I have to hold back a lot of it.
She already ranted to me
Oh,
in the
I've
car
had big
on
rants.
the way back.
With McLaren starting on the front row, that gave them a very, very good chance around Monza. They were given one rule. They were given one rule for this weekend. You're allowed to race each other, but papaya rules. And it came out after when they were asked, what is papaya rules? That papaya rules is essentially don't crash into each other, leave enough space, don't ruin each other's race. Now, Lando is currently in contention for the Drivers' Championship. He's quite close. McLaren as a team are really close in the Constructors. So you don't want to screw that up at all. Around the first corner, Oscar Piastri went for an overtake. And, he got it done. It was a decent overtake, except for the fact he did not leave room for Lando. He almost went into Lando, and Lando had to slam the brakes on to pull back so they both didn't get taken out of the race.
Not very teamwork there.
It's not very teamwork, but also not very papaya rules that you were given. Do not crash into each other. Leave enough space. That wasn't done. And almost ruined both of their race, which is insane to even think that that was almost a possibility, considering you are so close in the constructors. One thing is, don't fuck it up, and we almost did that. As a papaya fan, it was not my finest weekend. It let George Russell almost get through. But he ended up being run off the track, going into the runoff area in the gravel, and losing quite a lot of time. But it did let Charles Leclerc through. And Charles Leclerc has already said that once he was able to get past, once Piastri took out Norris, he knew it was his race.
And he was right.
He was right. Charles Leclerc won in Monza. Ferrari got their home win. It was still a really, really close race. Really great strategies to run. But one thing I do want to say the most of is McLaren, please figure out your strategies. Because I don't know what's going on at the moment, but we are not acting like a possibly championship winning team the way they're behaving. But anyway, Max Verstappen, not so much of a great race. Don't know what's going on with that Red Bull at the moment. He himself has said that there's a possibility that Red Bull is going to lose both championships this year. So I guess it's a waiting game now with, I think, 8 races left of this season. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens. But I think most only did a 1 stop, if I remember correctly. I think maybe a couple of drivers did a 2-stop strategy. I think McLaren came in for a 2-stop, if I remember correctly. I don't think I have much else to say other than the battle that was going on at the front was really, really entertaining, and I forgot that stuff was happening behind. When I say Franco Colapinto had a good weekend, he went from qualifying 18th to finishing 12th.
So that's very good.
That's very good.
Places.
Daniel Ricciardo had a bit of an unfortunate race. He was given a penalty. He was given a 10-second penalty. And when he went into the pits to serve it, out of habit, one of the mechanics went to stabilize the car. You're not allowed to touch it for 10 seconds, which meant he hadn't served his penalty then and had to reserve it. So he had a 20-second penalty at the end of all that, and still finished in 13th. So
that's unfortunately though that it was like just a mistake.
It sucked, but also, damn, that's a good race. He's getting that pace back, Danny Rick. We had 1 DNF in the race, which was unfortunately our main man Yuki Tsunoda. Again, just issues with the car.
Stop having issues, car. Just be normal and
I
go to
agree.
therapy or something.
Me, honestly. No, it wasn't an issue with the car. It was a collision with Hulkenberg.
Oh.
It was a collision with Hulkenberg. I forgot that had happened. Because I made it home just after the race started. It was a birthday race for somebody very important. Whelmst. It was the 30th birthday of El Matador, Carlos Sainz. My nose is itchy. Why is my nose itchy? 30th birthday. Which was, it felt, had a lot of emotions. It was his last Italian race with Ferrari on his birthday. So it was a little sad, but he made the most of the weekend and he was really happy about it all. So I can't be that sad about it. And the Tifosi really made it a weekend to remember. But from 10th to 1st, Kevin Magnussen in 10th, Alex Albon in 9th, Sergio Perez staying in 8th, George Russell unfortunately dropping to 7th, Max Verstappen only making up one place to 6th.
Wow. Interesting.
Lewis Hamilton in 5th, Carlos Sainz not in 5th,
not in
4th, Lando Norris in 3rd, Oscar Piastri in 2nd, and Charles Leclerc in 1st.
Numero uno. I like seeing that Hamilton's came 5th. He's kind of moved up a little bit.
The Mercedes are doing well. With Verstappen being down in 6th, this is where it comes into play of what were McLaren thinking? Why were team orders not brought in? Because this was a perfect chance. Lando was 0.4 or 0.04 behind Piastri in dirty air with better tyre deg. It would have made sense for them to switch positions because he could have chased Leclerc for that win. And that would have made him even closer in that Drivers' Championship to Verstappen and could have given them that overtake they needed in the Constructors. But they didn't. They let it run. We had, once again, in the final lap, Lando taking fastest lap of the race.
Whoa, he's good at that.
I don't know what he's doing at the moment. Yeah, but also it's like a last minute push. He wants to maximize the points.
Yeah.
But that is a crazy thing that 2 races in a row he's gotten fastest lap in that last lap. Impressive. Fastest pit stop. Don't know how. Alpine was fastest somewhere. And driver of the day, rightfully so, Charles Leclerc.
Yeah, he saw the opportunity and he just took it and went with it.
He did phenomenal. He did phenomenal.
Deserves the win.
There's not much more to talk about with the race, but again, as we've said in the last couple of episodes, we want to talk more media and paddock now as the race season goes on. First of all, just want it to be noted, Franco Colapinto, you're a funny man and I like you. I'm going to be so sad at the end of the season when he's not in that seat anymore. Obviously, they've got a great team next year with the lineup of Albon and Sainz, but Colapinto, I'm going to miss you. Yeah. Something else funny happened over the weekend. Yeah, right? So it's come out after the race that somebody was being a little bit of a track terror again and got another penalty. Welcome back, track terror Kevin Magnussen, and hitting his 12 allotted points.
What did he
do? He got another penalty, which means they get 12 penalty points over the thing.
Yeah.
Over you. He has hit 12.
Oh no.
Which means he has a race ban.
Oh no, K-Mag.
So K-Mag will not be racing.
Aww.
Ollie Behrman will be sitting in for him. But you know what this means? He comes back in Singapore. And you know what that means? He has about 6, 7 races left. Because he doesn't have a seat for next year. Kevin Magnussen, you have the chance to do the funniest thing ever. You got 12 points sitting there. Be a track terror, please, for the love of God.
What do you mean?
Track terror, Kevin
Why are you
Magnussen.
encouraging that behavior?
Because it's funny sometimes the way he drives. It's great. It's great. Cinematic. So when we talk media, there is something big that I want to talk about. And again, reminder to everyone that does see this that I am a McLaren fan. I am a 455 fan first, but I am a McLaren fan. So it does pain me a little to have to talk about this. But with Lando starting on pole and Oscar starting second, they were asked in pre-race media, what are you hoping to gain out of the race? And Lando answered with a McLaren 1-2. Very simple answer. He wants a McLaren 1-2. He wants them to cinch those points in for the constructors. Oscar turned around and said, I want to win. Yes, there's a winning mentality. But you're not the one starting on pole, and you're not the one in contention for the Drivers' Championship right now. You're a little bit further away. The fact that the one that is in contention turned around and said, yeah, I would like a McLaren 1-2. And the one that isn't said, I want to win. Not a great look as a team. We should have probably had that Sunday morning meeting that we liked talking about back in Hungary. Alongside that, we then come to the post-race media and drivers' press conference, where a lot of people have said things about Lando. If he was not even happy for Charles, like he was being a brat, he was throwing a tantrum. He wasn't. He was actually behaving very well and was very gracious, and actually he did congratulate Charles many times. He was very happy for Charles. The other papaya driver, on the other hand, was like a dark storm cloud. So they were in the post race drivers conference, and Lando got asked a question about, how the race went, like what he thought about what had happened, and as a team where they kind of stand. And then he gave very, very, honestly, a great answer. Very, still believes in the team. Thinks, that Oscar still ran a great race. He thought it was a good race. It's not the result he wanted, but like he was still proud of the team. They asked Oscar what he thought about it all. And Oscar just went,
Little
no
tantrum.
comment. Dead silence.
Sukirala.
We can't be doing that. Someone put me in as his PR officer right now, because someone needs to talk to that boy about how he behaved. And that's not even the only thing he did. In the media pen, he turned around and dragged Stroll's name through the mud of he was racing like it was his first go-kart race.
Yeah, he's getting too big for his britches, it seems.
If Lando had spoken like that, you would all want his head on a pike. Oscar does it. There's nothing wrong with it. Let's sort our double standards out right now, ladies and germs, because I have had enough. Had enough.
Yeah, he seems like he's just acting a bit like a spoiled brat, to be honest. That shirt should say Oscar is brat. But like,
no, Oscar was being a brat.
Yeah, he was being a brat.
Lando is brat.
Yeah.
Lando is brat.
Bit of a difference.
Speaking of, she's mentioned my shirt. I don't know if you can see it. It says Lando is brat. It's from the Red Flags podcast. They have one for all the drivers. Very comfortable, very cute. I love it. And I found out about this shirt, funnily enough, not even through the podcast, which I'm so upset that I didn't know this existed until then. I found out about it from Piastri's family, because his hilarious sister Hattie posted a TikTok of herself, Oscar's mum, and Oscar's dad all performing the apple dance in one of these shirts. Hattie has Oscar as Brat. Nicole has Yuki as Brat, and I can't remember Oscar's dad's name right now, but he has Alex as Brat because his parents are very big Yuki and Alex fans. Also, I think we've just yapped enough. There's nothing more I want to say other than McLaren, sort your shit out before we get to Singapore. Qatar, I think you'll be fine in. This is a race that McLaren does well. Red Bull is scared. Let's keep it that way. We are now 8 points away. There is currently an 8-point difference between McLaren and Red Bull in the constructors. Yeah, how good are these hats? With Red Bull sitting on 446 points and McLaren sitting on 438. So an 8-point difference. I don't know math. I'm not good at math. But in the Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen sits at 303 points and Lando Norris currently sits at 241. But also speaking of, Charles Leclerc closing in that gap on 217. So it's getting close. Real racing is back, ladies and gentlemen. Bring back the Track Terror K-Mag, and that's all I have to say. Next episode, though.
Know me.
So G officially leaves me this week. Saturday, yeah. I'm gonna be so sad.
Yeah, just because have to survive.
Who am I gonna annoy for the next month?
Who's gonna annoy you for the next month?
Exactly. Crazy. But as we touched on last episode, next episode you see after this one, I will have some fresh faces in it. It will be a once-off. For the moment, a once-off. While G is away, and she will be back in time for us to film a slightly delayed Singapore episode.
Yes.
Alright, that's not where we're going with that one. But yeah, other than that, we've got nothing else to say. Forza FERRARI sempre.
Time for us to go to bed, guys.
Happy birthday, Carlos Sainz. His birthday fell on Australian Father's Day.
Oh, did it?
That's ironic, because I too call him. Anyway!
That's my cue.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
See you next time.
No.
She'll see you next time. I will see you in 2 next times.
Your drink.
Oh my God.